What's going on, guys? It's Aaron the YouTube detailer, and today I'm going to show you how to wet sand big, dirty, deep scratches from your paint. Let's get them with focus. So if you're going to be wet sanding a scratch out of your vehicle, it's probably safe to assume that you already have a good idea of how to compound and polish the paint. So I'm just going to spend the majority of my time talking about what I'm doing here. Now there's two major things that we've got to note here. The first one is the motion of the sandpaper when I'm rubbing it against the paint. One, there's no pressure being used. Absolutely no pressure. Let the sandpaper do the work. And the second part is I'm always moving from a diagonal direction. Now because I'm right-handed, I'm moving from New York to Arizona, but if you're left-handed, you would go from Seattle to Florida. Be a Florida man, I guess. But basically what I'm looking for as I'm doing this is I'm looking for the scratch to kind of minimize itself while I'm working the sandpaper. And I move my way up into the 2500 grit once I've kind of reached a point that the scratch can no longer be improved any further. Okay, so that's what it looks like after we've sanded down to 2500 grit. So you can see it's there, but it's difficult to find now. So what we're gonna do is compound and polish this out using a Porter cable and a microfiber cutting pad and a little bit of compound. So I'm going to show you guys that you can use tools that you can buy from Canadian Tire to do the same job professionals do. When I'm compounding, I'm looking through the light source and I'm looking through the compounding to try and find any individual scratches that I've left from my sanding. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because once I've compounded this all out, I'm looking for an even compounding haze. And if there's individual scratches from sanding, those are going to be left behind when I polish, and it's not going to give me the proper finish that I want. Okay guys, I want to show you something before I move over to the compounded side now. This is what it looked like before, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like after. And I want to show you that it's not a nice finish. You see how it's like hazy and there's like a ton of little micro swirls all over the place, it looks like? That's totally normal. That's totally normal when you're doing a compounding stage, and this is what you want to see. So when you stand even further back from it and get some more light on here, you can see like it has an evenness to it, unlike that. But this is totally normal. That's what we want to see when we're compounding out all of our wet sanding marks, because we're going to further refine that with a polish. So no big deal. But this is where we're at now, and we're going to get that taken care of. While polishing, I'm doing the same thing as compounding, except this time I'm looking through the polishing and I'm trying to find individual hazing marks from the compounding. Again, when I'm doing the polishing, if I don't do this properly and I leave compounding hazing behind, that just doesn't look proper and it doesn't look right. So the purpose of this is to get the paint as flat and as perfect as possible. Wow, look at that. You almost wouldn't even know. Now I'm just gonna turn this light on. Look at that.